fast with Sensodyne Rapid Action for clinically proven relief in 60 seconds.
How many times do I have to tell you not to just come into my house anytime you feel like?
Now this new intern, can you ask her to come to my place immediately?
Tumekuja hapa sababu ya huyu. Tunataka aoe.
What do you have in mind?
Kuna mtu anapenda kuolewa? Na mimi?
I need someone to...
Yes.
Naona shida yako ni mapenzi, eh?
Umejua aje ilikuwa atafuta bibi?
His Excellency Wycliffe Ambetsa Oparanya is pleased to notify property owners within Kakamega County of his decision to extend a 100% waiver. The waiver has been extended from 1st June to 31st August 2020.
Sona moja imetengenezwa kwa njia spesheli ili kupambana na maumivu kwa haraka. Sona moja ina aspirin kama kiungo. Sona moja, kitulizo kamili. Maumivu yakizidi, pata ushauri wa daktari.
Sasa anamupenda lakini anashindwa kujielezea. Si life ingekuwa hizi kama mambo yangekuwa one touch yap, kuongea na kujielezea. Mambo mengine sio rahisi, lakini kupata 50% extra airtime ya kuponda kwa SMS ya Safaricom, mambo ni one touch. Pata 50% extra credo bila expiry ya kupiga na ku-SMS across networks. Piga *444* scratch card pin hash. Na kama ni M-Pesa *444*2#. Safaricom for you.
No matter what they do, a number one or a number two brings me closer and closer to you.
New Ace Toilet Cleaner comes in 6 variants and fragrances that kill 99% of germs, leaving your toilet beautifully clean and fresh.
My love is true. I'll always stand by you, 'cause you make me feel brand new.
This is NTV.
Naam, ahlan wa sahlan wa marhaba mpenzi mtazamaji popote ulipo, ni Jumanne nyingine tena njema teule na tulivu, Jumanne ya mwisho ikiwa vile vile ni siku ya mwisho ya mwezi Juni, na kama unavyojua tena mwezi ukiwa umefika katika maeneo kama hayo, mwaka ukiwa umefika katika maeneo hayo, basi tunaanza mahesabu ya kukamilisha mwaka. Ni Jumanne ambayo maambukizi ya virusi vya corona humu nchini yamepanda sana, lakini vile vile duniani kote tunazungumzia zaidi ya watu milioni 10 kote duniani. Watu walipoteza maisha kutokana na janga hili wamepindukia watu nusu milioni. Taswira ya hapa nchini inakaa namna hii. Maambukizi mapya ambayo yamegunduliwa baada ya saa 24 ni 176, huku jumla ya maambukizi nchini sasa yakifikia 6366. Waliopimwa ndani ya saa 24 zilizopita ni watu 2419, na jumla waliopimwa kote nchini sasa wamepindukia 166,066. waliopona kumradhi leo ni watu 26 na jumla waliopona sasa nchini wamefikia 2039. Vifo vya watu 4 vimeripotiwa ndani ya saa 24 na hivyo basi kupelekea idadi jumla ya waliopoteza maisha kutokana na COVID-19 humu nchini kufikia watu 148. Ni baadhi tu ya taarifa ambazo tumekuandalia usiku huu. Mengine ni pamoja na
mtoto wake.
Mwanamke azua tafurani nje ya mahakama kwa kudai jaji mkuu Maraga amemtekelekeza mwanawe wa kisiri.
I issued several directives to NMS that were to be achieved within 100 days. The directives I issued were aimed at enhancing service provision in the areas of waste collection and disposal, water and sanitation, housing and urban development, transport and public works.
Na ni siku 100 tangu baadhi ya majukumu muhimu ya kaunti ya Nairobi kutwaliwa na serikali kuu. Nini kimebadilika? Taasisi mbalimbali na Wakenya wataka mahakama izidishe kasi ya kusikiza kesi ya kujeruhiwa kwa DJ Evolve.
Ilikuwa ni masaa ya kupatrol, ambapo sasa kuliko watembee na barabara walikuwa wameingia kwa kona fulani wametegeshea hapo. Sasa mimi nikishuka na pikipiki wakatoka ghafla na kuanza kunipiga, kunishambulia watoka wapi, waenda wapi. Hapo ndio mmoja akanisukuma, ndio nikaanguka, pikipiki ikabingirika na nikaweza kuvunjika mguu.
Na Wakenya walalamikia ukatili wa polisi katika kutekeleza masharti ya corona, huku wanaharakati wakitoa takwimu za kushtua moyo.
Mbashara kutoka Jumba na Nation. Hii ni NTV jioni na Salim Swale.
Naam, shukrani kwa kuienzi na kuichagua NTV na asante kwa kuchagua kituo hiki kama kitovu cha habari za kweli na kuaminika. Anayetusaidia katika lugha ya ishara upande wa pili wa studio ni Flora Atieno, na tunaanza na taarifa ambayo tumeipa kipaumbele jioni hii, ambapo afisa mkurugenzi mkuu wa mashtaka ya umma nchini anataka sasa idara ya mahakama kuharakisha kusikizwa na kukamilishwa kwa kesi ya Felix Orinda almaarufu DJ Evolve inayohusu kujeruhiwa kwake kwa risasi na mbunge wa Embakasi Mashariki Babu Owino. Wakati huo huo, baadhi ya Wakenya wameshaanza kampeni maalum kwenye mitandao yote ya kijamii kutaka hatua za kisheria zichukuliwe dhidi ya Babu Owino. Seth Olale analikunjua jamvi la NTV jioni kwa uketo wa taarifa hiyo.
Vile nilipata ripoti ya kijana wangu ati amepata accident pale pake pa kazi, nilikuwa shocked.
Takriban Wakenya 30,000 wametia saini hoja ya kutaka hatua kali za kisheria zichukuliwe dhidi ya mbunge wa Embakasi Babu Owino ambaye alimpiga risasi Felix Orinda almaarufu DJ Evolve, licha ya kesi hiyo kuweko mahakamani. Waanzilishi wa kampeni hiyo ya mtandaoni vilevile wameanzisha mbinu ya msaada inayolenga kumsaidia DJ huyo ambaye kwa sasa ni mlemavu kutokana na kisa hicho cha mwezi Januari mwaka huu. Wakati huo, naibu mkurugenzi mkuu wa mashtaka ya umma Joseph Liungu amesema kwamba afisi hiyo inasubiri kwa hamu kutajwa kwa tarehe rasmi ya kusikizwa kwa kesi hiyo baada ya kesi nyingi kushindwa kuendelea mahakamani kutokana na janga la corona. Naye mwenyekiti wa chama cha wanasheria nchini Nelson Havi amesema kwamba angependelea kusihi wakazi wa eneo bunge la Embakasi kuanzisha mchakato wa kumtimua Babu Owino afisini, lakini itachukuliwa kuwa siasa.
Tangu 17th Januari kila kitu ilisimama upande wangu, kusingefanya chochote na mtoto wangu wako hivi. So mi niko tu na yeye always since 17th January up to now.
Takriban miezi 6 iliyopita imekuwa changamoto mno kwa DJ Evolve, familia na wapendwa wake kufuatia kisa ambacho kimemlemaza na vilevile kubadilisha kabisa maisha yake. Seth Olale, NTV, Nairobi.
Naam, tunatumai kwamba haki itatendeka mwisho wa siku kwake DJ Evolve. Tukisonga mbele mtazamaji, idara ya polisi nchini imemulikwa tena kupitia ripoti iliyotolewa na Tume ya Kitaifa ya Haki za Binadamu iliyoonyesha kwamba wameshiriki katika kuwadhulumu wananchi na kukiuka haki za raia. Katika ripoti ambayo imepewa kichwa cha maneno uchungu na janga, shirika hilo linasema kwamba limenakili visa 10 vya mauaji ya watu huku watu wengine 87 wakidaiwa kuteswa mikononi mwa polisi. Sharon Baranga anakuletea uketo wa taarifa hiyo.
Peter Chege kutoka eneo la Mikindani, kaunti ya Mombasa, anaendelea kuuguza majeraha aliyopata kutoka kwa maafisa wa polisi. Kulingana na Chege ambaye ni mwendeshaji bodaboda, alikuwa amekamilisha kazi yake ya siku na alikuwa akielekea nyumbani. Kisha maafisa wa polisi waliokuwa wamejificha walijitokeza na kumshambulia.
Washtukizia tu ndio hawa na wakaweza kunishambulia na kunipiga hadi nikawa nimevunjika mguu.
Tumepata visa 43 ambapo ni watu walipigwa na katika sehemu tofauti tofauti ya Coast Region, na namba hii inaashiria kwamba the level of police brutality imeongezeka haswa katika mkoa huu wa Pwani, haswa katika wakati huu wa COVID-19.
Chege ni mmoja wa watu walioteseka mikononi mwa maafisa wa polisi, lakini kutokana na hofu aliyokuwa nayo hakupiga ripoti. Katika ripoti yenye kichwa cha uchungu na janga iliyotolewa na tume ya KNCHR, visa 10 vya mauaji ya watu vilinakiliwa, huku kukiwa na ripoti za wengine 87 waliodai kuteswa na polisi kati ya tarehe 1 mwezi wa Machi na tarehe 6 mwezi wa Juni mwaka huu.
We have looked at access to justice, and you are very much aware that the usual way of doing things, especially accessing our courts for dispensation of justice, was also affected.
Na katika eneo la Kabarnet, kaunti ya Baringo, Amos Kiprotich anaendelea kuuguza majeraha aliyopata baada ya kupigwa risasi kwenye mkono. Kiprotich ambaye hufanya biashara ya kuendesha bodaboda alisema alifumaniwa na maafisa wa polisi alipokuwa akielekea nyumbani. Ilikuwa ni usiku na alikuwa amechelewa kufika nyumbani kabla ya saa za curfew.
Walikuwa 5 wakanikujia. Vile walinikujia nikapendua pikipiki kurudi town. And then after hiyo sasa ndio wakanipiga hiyo bullet hiyo. Wakanipiga kwa mkono ya right.
Hata hivyo si mabaya tu. Ripoti hiyo pia iliwatambua maafisa wa polisi ambao walikuwa wakitekeleza wajibu wao kwa roho ya utu.
The Baringo Central Administration Police Commandant, Mr. Ibrahim Abachila. We also wish to acknowledge Ms. Amina Ramadan, an officer from Embakasi Police Station. Others also include the OCPD and OCS of Mumias Police Station. And lastly, the OCS and Deputy OCS of Akala Police Station also accompanied an injured person following police brutality again.
Kwa sasa Tume ya Kitaifa ya Haki za Binadamu inataka Inspekta Mkuu wa polisi ahakikishe kuwa maafisa wa polisi wanazingatia haki za binadamu huku wakiendelea kutekeleza wajibu wao. Sharon Baranga, NTV.
Shukran sana Sharon Baranga. Spika wa bunge la kitaifa Justin Muturi amepuuzilia mbali madai ya vyombo vya habari kwamba wabunge 6 wameambukizwa virusi vya corona. Kulingana na Muturi ni kwamba Wizara ya Afya imethibitisha visa 2 peke yake vya wabunge walioambukizwa homa ya corona. Aidha anasema kwamba moja kati ya waliothibitishwa kuambukizwa corona amepona na kuruhusiwa kujitenga nyumbani, huku mwenzake akiendelea kutibiwa hospitalini katika wodi ya kawaida. Muturi anasema hayo bungeni leo wakati Wizara ya Afya ikisema kwamba haina habari kuhusiana na Kenya kuachwa nje miongoni mwa mataifa yanayoruhusiwa kuingia katika nchi za Muungano wa Ulaya kupitia visa ya Schengen. Ripoti hizo zimetokana na tovuti ya habari kuhusiana na visa ya Schengen iliyosema kwamba EU inatambua mataifa 15 ya nchi zinazoendelea ambayo ni salama kutua barani humo. Kenya haikuorodheshwa miongoni mwa nchi hizo 15 na ni Rwanda pekee ndilo taifa la pekee la Afrika Mashariki lililoorodheshwa.
We have 2 cases of the virus that have been reported among members of parliament. One of the affected members has been attended to and has since been discharged from hospital after testing negative following treatment. The member is currently in self-isolation. The other case has also been attended to, and the member is now in stable condition in the general ward care.
Aliyekuwa nahodha wa timu ya taifa ya soka Harambee Stars Musa Otieno amelazwa katika hospitali ya Mbagathi baada ya kuambukizwa homa ya corona. Otieno anadaiwa kutibiwa kwanza katika hospitali ya Kenyatta kabla ya kuhamishiwa Mbagathi, ambacho ni kituo kilichotengwa na serikali kwa ajili ya kuwatibu wagonjwa wanaougua corona. Miongoni mwa waliomwombea nafuu ya haraka mchezaji huyo wa zamani wa Kenya, ambaye pia aliwahi kuwa katika safu ya ukufunzi ya Harambee Star, ni rais wa shirikisho la soka nchini Nick Mwendwa. Otieno almaarufu Otiro aling'ara sana kama mchezaji wa klabu za Tusker, FC Leopard na vile vile kabla ya kusakata soka ya kulipwa nchini Afrika Kusini. Tangu janga la corona alifika nchini, Otieno amekuwa akisaidia familia zisizojiweza katika vitongoji duni kupitia wakfu wake wa Kick Off to Hope. Asilimia 84 ya Wakenya kutoka mitaa ya mabanda katika kaunti ya Nairobi wanasema kwamba janga la COVID-19 limeathiri pakubwa hali yao ya maisha ya kila siku, huku asilimia 54 wakisema kwamba wamepoteza ajira. Haya ni kwa mujibu wa matokeo ya utafiti yaliyotolewa na shirika la utafiti la TIFA.
Women than men expecting to be facing the challenge of hunger because they are more than men the main providers. We have a number of single-parent households. Serious expected challenge if this crisis continues. We had 44% women mentioning hunger and 40% of men. Well, just outside the margin of error. I mean, the margin of error in this survey was about 4% plus or minus, a little higher if we break it down by gender. A loss of employment, a bit higher among women than men. Paying for shelter, for rent, about the same. Children missing school, about the same. Insecurity and crime, about the same. So it was really only with regard to hunger that we see what might be a significant difference.
Na matokeo hayo ya utafiti kuhusiana na hali ya kiuchumi yanatuhitimishia sehemu yetu ya kwanza. Kumbuka taarifa tuliyoanza nayo ya DJ Evolve inatupeleka katika swali letu la siku, mtazamaji, na tumekuuliza una maoni gani kuhusiana na masaibu yanayomkabili DJ Evolve. Zungumza nasi kupitia mitandao yetu ya kijamii @salimswale001 @NTV Kenya, #ni NTV jioni. Usiondoke hapo ulipo.
Je, maumivu ya kichwa na kukosesha amani? Kaluma Strong hutuliza maumivu ya kichwa, maumivu ya mwili na hata huondoa joto jingi mwilini. Kaluma Strong ina aspirin kama kiungo. Maumivu yakizidi, muone daktari.
Disinfect and protect your home with Jik. Jik kills 99.9% of illness-causing germs. Disinfect floors, kitchen and bathroom surfaces and wash white clothes, towels and dishcloths with Jik bleach. Just Jik it.
I'm here for small biasharas, in my hood or beyond. I'm here for my customers, who are sought every time they come through. Put your business on the map with Visa, where you shop matters.
Mikono juu. Sasa ruka.
Nini? Ulikuwa tayari kuchangamka? Si ungesema.
Changamkia vipindi vipendavyo, vichekesho, muziki, habari za uteneti na mengine mengi. Jione YouTube na Tenbo. Dial *544# and select YouTube.
Beat sensitivity pain fast with Sensodyne Rapid Action. for clinically proven relief in 60 seconds.
How many times do I have to tell you not to just come into my house anytime you feel like?
Akizia kama kanakuaga na kelele yake. Now this new intern, can you ask her to come to my place immediately? Tumekuja hapa sababu ya huyu. Tunataka aoe.
What do you have in mind?
Kuna mtu angependa kuolewa? Na mimi.
I need someone to...
Naona shida yako ni mapenzi, eh?
Umejua aje ilikuwa atafuta bibi.
His Excellency Wycliffe Ambetsa Oparanya is pleased to notify property owners within Kakamega County of his decision to extend a 100% waiver. The waiver has been extended from 1st June to 31st August 2020.
Karibu tena mtazamaji, tuendelee na taarifa za NTV jioni, ambapo mahakama ya rufaa leo imeagiza kesi ya ubakaji dhidi ya wachezaji wa raga Frank Wanyama na Alex Olaba isikizwe tena. Kesi hii ilisikizwa kupitia mitandao kwa sababu ya virusi vya corona, ambapo Jaji Ngenye Masharia ameagiza wawili hao wahamishiwe hadi kituo cha polisi cha Kilimani hadi kesi ya kuamua kama watapata dhamana au la itakaposikizwa. Wanyama na Olaba ambao waliwakilisha Kenya katika raga ya kimataifa walifungwa miaka 15 na hakimu mwandamizi wa mahakama ya Milimani Martha Mutuku Agosti mwaka jana. Wawili hao walichezea klabu ya Kenya Harlequins, walipatikana na hatia ya kumbaka mwanamuziki wa kike katika sherehe ya kuzaliwa kwake mwaka 2018. Kwingineko, viongozi wa Kiislamu humu nchini wamepinga mswada wa afya ya uzazi, na sababu wanasema kwamba wanataka itupiliwe mbali. Baraza Kuu la Waislamu nchini Kenya SUPKEM linataka Seneti kutupilia mbali mswada huo uliowasilishwa na Seneta wa Nakuru Susan Kihika. Kulingana na viongozi hawa wa Kiislamu ni kwamba mswada huo unahalalisha vitendo vya ngono miongoni mwa watoto sambamba na kubariki ndoa za watu wa jinsia moja.
Jamii ya Kiislamu tumeukataa huu mswada kiujumla, yani hakuna mambo gani ama gani, kwa sababu kwa misingi ambayo ipo ya kisheria ambayo imetajwa, na pia kuna misingi ambayo ni ya kidini pia imekuwa ni yenye kutajwa, na pia tunaona kuwa ni njia fulani ambayo inataka kutumika ya kujaribu kuweka masala ya uaviaji wa mimba kutumia mlango wa nyuma, na tunaona pia kuwahusisha hapa hivi watoto wadogo katika maamuzi kama haya bila kupata ile idhini ama kutoka kwa wale ambao wanatakiwa kuwa na kauli juu yao. Masala kama swala la wahitaji surrogacy ama kama imetamka sawa, ni masala ambayo tunaona yanakiuka masala ambayo yanahusiana na kile kizazi, ile lineage ama uzazi na ukoo. Kwa hiyo ikiwa kutakuwa mtu anakuja anachukua mbegu sehemu zinakuja zinapandwa, tutakosa ile asli na taasisi ya kufanya nini, ya kujua huu ukoo umetoka wapi. Kwa hiyo ni masala ambayo kijumla katika dini hayaruhusiwi, na pia yanakuwa ni yenye kuhitaji wananchi wawe ni wenye kuelimishwa zaidi katika baadhi ya mambo kama haya.
Na mtazamaji, kama ndio kwanza unafungulia runinga yako na kujiunga nasi, unatazama NTV jioni, taarifa za kina na utendeti. Kampuni ya bima za benki KDIC imeongeza kutoka shilingi 100,000 hadi shilingi 500,000 kiwango cha fedha ambazo mteja wa benki anaweza kupokea iwapo benki itapata matatizo na kufungwa. Kiwango hicho kipya kitaanza kutumika rasmi kuanzia hapo kesho. KDIC pia imeweka mikakati ya kusaidia benki kukumbana na janga la corona, mojawapo ikiwa ni kuharakisha malipo ya bima kila mwaka ambayo yanatarajiwa kuanzia mwezi Julai hadi Disemba.
Effective midnight today, in the very unlikely event of any bank put in liquidation, we shall clear with 99% of the depositors by paying them 500,000 and below. And MFIs, those are our membership, my brother. So these interventions also are extended to them. Now with this pandemic, the banks already are suffering from some of these. You can see the restructuring of the account. So their risk profile may not reflect the true position of that bank. So we want to give the banks an additional 1 year for us to effect the risk-based premium.
Na mtazamaji, tunapata mapumziko mengine mafupi, lakini kabla ya hapo, kwa haraka nina hawa ambao wanazungumzia swali letu la siku. Huyo hapa ni Seneta Tom Kim Baraza, anasema kwamba Babu Owino anastahili kuwa ndani sasa na hastahili kuwaongoza watu hata kuwa mwenyekiti wa nyumba 10. Kuna huyu mwingine hapa ambaye ni Baska, anasema shida ni mahakama zetu hazitendi haki na haziendi kwa kasi inayotakiwa, haswa kesi zinapowahusu wanyonge. Usiondoke hapo ulipo, yapo mengi ambayo yanakujia, ikiwa ni pamoja na mengi katika ulingo wa spoti.
Oya ni aje, mimi ndo Jonte Fresh. Mimi ndio nimetambulika hii Gikomba yote sekta ya manguo. Jumio transform nguo ordinary za mtush zenye ziuka mna hii harufu ya bail into the freshest igi koshi yote. Siri ni hii Ariel mpya ya pink. Na kushow mtush zinang'ara kung'ara kushinda kamera. So clean, so fresh. Ma customer unaisana na story. Ninatumia Ariel touch of down mpya tu.
God, jana ulipotea hivyo baada ya kupepa ule mtemu kwa potapota ukaenda. Unajua huo mrembo alinipeleka hadi kwa nyumba. Nikasema mimi siedi kulalisha masikio. Nikatapa shughuli.
Jamaa, mbona mjipendi?
Kwa nini?
Yaani unawezaje patana tu na mtu kwa street alafu uende ukachapiane naye?
Kalishizo mashine.
Ulitumia raba eh?
Kwani bado mnatumia raba?
Okay, ngoja niulize jamaa. Nani hapa hivi amepimwa hivi majuzi?
Pale kwa Mwangi, si ni 10 bob.
Sijasema kupimwa weight. Saa hizi kupimwa HIV ni haraka na ni bure. Unaweza pimwa kwa clinic na bado unaweza jipimia kwa nyumba yako wewe mwenyewe na self test kit 500 peke yake.
Niende nipimwe, nichipate niko positive. Unajua hakuna kitu naogopa kama hiyo.
Kuko na madawa na kuko na counseling na utaishi maisha yako normal tu. Kuko na HIV si eti ni mwisho.
Wewe uko nayo?
Mimi nilishapima.
Unapoendelea kujikinga kutokana na HIV, tafadhali zingatia taratibu zote za serikali za kujikinga na virusi vya corona.
Afya bora, maisha bora. Jipime, jiinue.
I'm here for small biasharas, in my hood or beyond. I'm here for my customers, who are sought every time they come through. Put your business on the map with Visa, where you shop matters.
So vile nasema, wacha nikubatie statistics. Niko na gamia 1,500. Tunakuwa drapo gamia na kuwa 6,000. 2,000 natengeneza leather, natengeneza viatu, wallet, kibeti, nauza hapa, na batia wewe 50%. Wacha niweke credit nikupigie.
Namna gani wewe? Hii mambo ya kuishiwa na credit kila saa. Come on. Nunua hiyo simu ya Vodafone. Calling fiber to fiber is 0 shillings per minute. And it is not expensive. Only 2,999 Kenya shillings.
Alo hali wa. Hata fadhali hiyo credit ikae ninunue simu basi.
Faibika leo na Vodafone for only 2,999 Kenya shillings. It will always be free to call fiber to fiber.
The risk of illness-causing germs is increasing. It is believed that the coronavirus can remain on surfaces in your home for up to 9 days. Touching infected surfaces is one of the ways in which germs spread. Regularly disinfect your floors, countertops, and kitchen surfaces with bleach. And use an effective toilet cleaner inside and outside your toilet bowl. This message is brought to you by Medifacts, JIC, and Hapic.
Karibu mwanaspoti, tuendelee na taarifa za spoti. Kuna ahadi mpya ya kukamilisha ukarabati wa uwanja wa Ruringu ulioko katika kaunti ya Nyeri ifikapo mwezi Septemba mwaka huu. Ahadi mpya imetolewa na taasisi ya Sport Kenya ambayo inasimamia viwanja vyote vya michezo humu nchini. Mkurugenzi wa Sport Kenya Mwangi Muthee alizuru uwanja huo akiwa pamoja na mbunge wa Nyeri mjini Ngunjiri wa Mbugu. Ukarabati huo ambao umegharimu takriban shilingi milioni 300 umekwama kwa muda licha ya Rais Uhuru Kenyatta mwenyewe kuzindua ukarabati wenyewe.
Nyeri is high altitude. I would like to see athletes coming from Europe to come and camp in Nyeri
to come and train in Nyeri, because Nyeri, there are good hotels, there's good food, people are friendly. So the infrastructure is what is lacking.
I think for me, what disappoints us as Nyerians is that this stadium was supposed to have gone and finished a long time ago. We remember it was launched by the president in June 2017. It was supposed to be done in 6 to 9 months. We are now 2020 June.
Nchini Uhispania, Getafe ilishinda Real Sociedad mabao 2-1 na kuweka hai matumaini yao ya kumaliza katika nafasi ya 4 katika La Liga na kufuzu kucheza katika ligi ya mabingwa barani Ulaya. Mshambuliaji Mata aliwezesha Getafe kupata ushindi huo wa kwanza tangu mechi hizo kuanza. Mchezaji wa zamani wa Manchester United Adnan Januzaj alifungia Sociedad bao la kufutia machozi.
It's threaded forward for Adnan Januzaj! Well, look at this. It's a goal. Real Sociedad have equalised. The run was timed to perfect. Molina's quick throw, finding Mata, and Mata has tucked it home. A goal out of nowhere. In Real Sociedad, architects of their own downfall.
Kuhusu ligi kuu ya Uingereza ni kwamba Burnley imepanda hadi nafasi ya 8 baada ya kuishinda Crystal Palace bao 1-0 katika mechi iliyocharazwa jana usiku. Bao lake nahodha Ben Mee aliyekuwa anachezea timu hii kwa mara ya 300 ilihakikishia wageni ushindi. Vijana wa Sean Dyche sasa wamepanda juu ya Arsenal na Sheffield United wakiwa na alama 45 sawa na Tottenham Hotspur ambao wanachezea mechi moja. Burnley ambayo imeshindwa mara moja tu katika mechi 10 sasa inaweza kuwa na matumaini ya kufuzu kucheza kombe la Europa.
So the opening goal is, so it is back-to-back 1-0 wins for a patched-up Burnley. Some achievement from Sean Dyche's team.
Turudi barani Afrika ambapo dimba la kombe la Afrika yaani AFCON mwaka 2021 sasa litachezwa nchini Cameroon mnamo Januari mwaka 2022 baada ya CAF kufanya mabadiliko kadha wa kadha. Dimba la CAF mwaka ujao ambalo lilifaa kuchezwa Aprili nchini Cameroon sasa limesongezwa mbele hadi mwaka 2021. Aidha, ligi ya mabingwa mashirikisho barani Afrika CAF sasa haitachezwa katika mikondo miwili kama ilivyozoeleka hapo awali. Naam, mtazamaji, kila kilicho na mwanzo hakikosi kuwa na mwisho, na hadi kufikia hapo tumetamatisha NTV jioni. Utapata mengi zaidi katika taarifa zetu za saa 3 ikiwa ni pamoja na timbwili ambayo imeshuhudiwa nje ya mahakama wakati mwanamke alipojitokeza na kudai kwamba ana mtoto na jaji mkuu David Maraga, ambapo anadai kwamba Maraga amemtelekeza mwana wao wa siri. Mimi ni Salim Swali, aliyetusaidia katika lugha ishara ni Flora Tieno. Tukutane panapo majaliwa, siku na roho zikiwa hai. Kwa heri na usiku mwema.
This is NTV.
Oya ni aje, mimi Jonte Fresh. Mimi ndio nimetambulika hii Gikomba yote sekta ya manguo. Jumio transform nguo ordinary za mtush zenye ziuka mna hii harufu ya bail into the freshest igikoshi yote. Siri ni hii real mpya ya pink. Na kushow mtush zinang'ara kung'ara kushinda kamera. So clean, so fresh. Ma customer unaisana na hii story. Ninatumia aerial touch of down mpya tu.
Ah, Helen Paul.
Hello, madam. Would you like to join us on this mission?
Yes, but how?
Just one question for you. How do you keep your toilet clean?
I use regular detergent and bleach for washing and removing yellow stains. I've been using it for years.
Oh, madam, the regular detergents and bleach are used for washing clothes. To disinfect your toilet properly, you need Harpic 10X. It is specially made for germs and stains removal. Harpic's thick formula settles on stains and gives 10 times better cleaning compared to regular detergents and bleach.
Wow, now I'm convinced, Helen Paul.
Really?
Yeah.
Now that she's part of the mission, the next house is yours.
Disinfect and protect your home with Jek. Jek kills 99.9% of illness-causing germs. Disinfect floors, kitchen and bathroom surfaces, and wash white clothes, towels, and dishcloths with Jek bleach. Just Jek it.
Like every mother, I'm worried about dangerous insects, especially mosquitoes, which spread diseases like malaria to my loved ones. This year, I'm not afraid. I'm using Mortein Doom. Mortein Doom All Insect Killer provides protection in seconds. Not even a single mosquito is spared, because even one mosquito bite can cause malaria. Mortein Doom provides protection in seconds.
We all are looking for products to protect ourselves from viruses, but not all products protect us. Did you know that using Dettol soap and water protects against viruses? Many viruses are surrounded by an envelope with receptors that enable them to enter a human cell and cause infection. Dettol soap destroys the outer layer of the virus and effectively removes it. Protect your family from the spread of viruses with Dettol. Dettol cleans and is now tested and proven to be effective against COVID-19 virus. This has been Medivax for Dettol.
This is NTV.
Our chief guest, Mr. Joe Musheru, Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of ICT, the CAS, Madam Maureen Mbaka, Kenya Film Commission Board and staff, invited guests, good evening. Tonight, I take this opportunity to celebrate the winners of My Kenya, My Story, which is a mobile film competition brought to you by Kenya Film Commission. As you know, this is just one of the many programs that Kenya Film Commission undertakes, hence reaffirming our commitment of growing Kenya's film industry. We focus on application of technology in telling stories and also being able to tell our authentic stories the best way possible. I wish to take this opportunity again to thank our partners, MultiChoice, CDI Gadgets, Techno Mobile, and other supporters of this particular movement in a manner that we together we can always achieve more.
Welcome to My Kenya, My Story mobile phone film competition by Kenya Film Commission. Now, during this corona period, corona pandemic, the Kenya Film Commission thought it is good for them to involve the young people who are film directors, film and content creators, for them to come and compete in a mobile phone film production. And that is why tonight we're here, because we're here to unveil the winner of this wonderful competition. The winner walks away with up to 200,000 Kenya shillings. You better make movies. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Now, to begin, Bwana CEO, why this mobile competition?
Thank you. Why mobile phone? Because traditionally we have all believed that for you to be able to tell your story, you need very sophisticated equipment to be able to really get the kind of quality that you can be able to share your story or tell your story. But that has come to a different turn, that using this small gadget, you are able to actually shoot, edit, and produce your content, tell your story in a perfect format that you really need not to have a lot of equipment around you to be able to have a complete story. So out of this, the Commission's intention was to first show you that you can still tell your story, two, to identify the young talents within our communities so that we are able to nurture them as our mandate command. We reaffirm our commitment to Kenyans that we have to nurture and grow talent within our country so that we are able to really coexist, communicate, create employment, as well as create job opportunities that will go beyond just creating wealth, but ensuring that we live in an environment and mood that we appreciate.
Thank you so much, CEO. CAS Maureen, the only lady among gentlemen tonight here. Now, what's your take on the technology, creativity, and innovation when it comes to film today in Kenya?
Thank you. Thank you, MC, CS, CEO, the partners present for My Kenya, My Story. Well, I'm glad to be here, first of all, to celebrate this creativity, the creativity of young people in Kenya when it comes to film and in the use of ICT. I mean, it's a show of how ICTs can be used in the film industry. These short films have been taken on only mobile phones. And I mean, it's a great opportunity for the young people in the country to showcase their creativity, their talent. And I've actually watched some of these short films, and it's amazing. They're amazing. They're amazing short films. And I would encourage all Kenyans to go onto the Kenya Film Commission YouTube channel and watch these short films. Thank you.
Thank you so much, CS. Bwana CS, welcome, and thank you for your support. So, what's more do we expect from the support of the government towards the film industry?
Let me say tonight is really a big day for us when we look at what is happening with film. When we got the mandate, and the president is really passionate about film, to really go out and get as many Kenyans involved in this sector, because it creates jobs, it creates a new culture. People begin to see what others are doing, not just hearsay. They're not only seeing what is on text, now it's audiovisual. Today marks a day where Kenyans can now begin to see audiovisually and use the gadgets that they have, the normal mobile phone that they have across the country, to actually tell the Kenyan story. So today is a big day for me. And I'm sure even the president is very pleased to know that we've actually begun to now have an army of all our young people out there with the opportunity to be able to tell their story, successful stories, or stories where they want assistance here and there. So you've got a way of being able to entertain Kenyans and give them information. So this is not something that is being asked of government. It's not something that's being asked of the president. This is something that we are actually pushing. It's an agenda that the president has to ensure that even in the digital world, that we are able to tell the Kenyan story, the African story, and be part of the global citizen. So expect a lot of support to continue. This is just the beginning.
So many youths have been giving their stories through mobile phone. Do you have any story that you would have put maybe on mobile and you didn't?
The other night, the president invited me to go with him to tour this city of ours. And we actually started here in Michuki Park, just to see how that is being rehabilitated, the river, and to see what's going on in just the paving. This was we started at 7, we finished at almost 11:30 p.m. Just going around to inspect what the president is doing. But when we got to Grogon and River Road area down there, to my surprise, the president with General Badi, they've hired most of the street families. These people who've been sleeping in the streets. They've all been hired, they're building roads. These people are being paid 650 shillings a day. One lady there told the president, Your Excellency, the first time in my life I've seen hope is now. You've given us work. Now I know my children will not be beggars again. They are already living in homes. They've been able to rent with the money that they're earning. They were there. There were hundreds of them. But these people did not ask the president for money or for anything. They have dignity. They are feeling satisfied. They're saying they're not begging anymore. They're not going to take drugs anymore. Just satisfied. And in fact, the only request they gave to the president is that, can we please have IDs? Just give us Kenyan IDs. We feel proud to be Kenyans again. These are the stories that these young people with their mobile phones should be going out and actually telling. Because these are not told. The president is not out there to look for publicity. But if you look at the change that he has made for these street families, I mean, they're cleaning that whole place and they're working at night. So when we went, I mean, obviously, even I was worried, you know, where are we? But the president does this on a regular basis. That's a story that is not told. But it's transforming Kenya.
He goes... No, these are very great stories. I think somebody needs to...
And not with a motorcade. Not with a motorcade. I don't know if he'll allow me, but he drives himself. And he takes us around. You even know, says, how does he even know these places? But he knows even more than many of us. Those are real stories. And those are the stories that must be told. And that's where with the mobile phone, someone can be able to tell these stories that tend to be hidden, but they are real gems and real transformations that are happening here. From there, we went to Mukuru kwa Ruben, and we met even other people there.
At night?
At night.
You know, I'm insisting at night.
At night.
Because
you know,
people never seen the president out at night.
At night. Now, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but that's my story. And I will say it, I will ask for forgiveness because I did that. But if I was part of this competition, I think even the president would have won this one, because of the kind of things that he's doing. But I have also seen that there are really great stories, Kenyan stories that are being told. And really we must tell them.
So when I see us tonight, you are going to unveil the winner of this mobile competition. And I know the youths are excited about that. And thank you for your support towards the youths and when it comes to film. Ladies and gentlemen, the nominees of the mobile phone film competition.
My name is Philip Wahome and I'm the Corporate Affairs Manager at MultiChoice Kenya. We're extremely happy to be here as a business because for starters, the Kenya Film Commission is a key stakeholder within our content universe because first they're charged with the promotion and marketing of films in Kenya, and we're also in the content creation business. Our purpose being to enrich lives of our consumers on a daily basis, especially during this period, this challenging period of the COVID-19 pandemic. So we saw it as a strategic fit to come together and partner so that we can be able, first of all, to democratize access of our content and also help the filmmakers who've done an incredible job to help them also be able to promote and showcase their content as we go along. Every participant today is a winner because Showmax will be giving 20 of them 20 subscriptions to each individual to make sure that they are able to access the kind of content that they will be working with in the near future.
My name is Dixon Ireri. I'm the East African Regional Training Manager at Techno. And the reason why we decided to partner with them, this initiative, is it's a mobile phone affair, okay? And we do have devices that actually fit in this initiative. And the beautiful thing is, for all of you, is that they are affordable and readily in the market. We are enabling them to take a good film through our devices. We have the Camon 15, we have the Spark 5, any device within your budget with a good camera, we can provide.
My name is Gideon Burugo Riongo. I'm the CEO of CDI Gadgets. CDI Gadgets means Chasing Dreams Inc. And our vision is to enable you, the content creator, to tell your story through the mobile phone. We partnered with Kenya Film Commission. Our agenda really was to be able to to help these content creators to be able to tell their story. And after they've done telling their story, usually take them through training by equipping them. That's why you get the accessories, which actually are really affordable, starting from 4,800 to get the whole bundle. That includes lights and audio and a lapel and probably even a tripod.
The second runners-up of My Kenya, My Story is Moja film by Omar Hamza.
The first runners-up of My Kenya, My Story mobile film competition is Mandela Midamba, the film 2024.
So ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the mobile film competition, it's coming. Because of social distancing, it has been flown from the jury all the way. And the helicopter is going down.
And the winner of the 2020 Kenya Film Commission, My Kenya, My Story mobile film is Automatic by David Waronga.
Congratulations, David.
Well done, congratulations. Pongezi sana.
So I'm on this other side of the studio where the jury is sitting. Oh my goodness. You guys, this is the screen you've been enjoying the show from. Wow. How does it feel?
You look fat.
I look fat.
I don't know what that's about, but...
It's the cameras. It's the cameras, yeah. And it's a bit dark. Yeah, so... So tonight I would like us to talk about how you were actually judging those films.
Sure.
Were all the counties represented?
For the most part, yes, but we didn't get a lot of entries from the northeastern part of Kenya. The Manderas, yes.
Wajir, Mandera, no. Garissa?
No, Garissa.
Turkana?
No, Isiolo, no, Turkana, no.
Isiolo?
Yeah, for the most, yes, northeastern Kenya was...
Waraba hali yake iko shida gani? Si tulisema nyinyi wanashoot unaleta? Mlishoot nini? Let me start with the chairperson. What were you looking for in these movies that we are talking about here?
We were primarily looking for, obviously, the story had to stay within the theme, which is stay at home, COVID-19, stay safe. But the other aspect was how well the stories were being told, the different versions of the same story, because there are people, we'd all assume that a COVID story is about all of us stuck at home and then we shoot something. But then it was very interesting to see other entrants really think outside the box, so to speak.
What I see, if I look at even the bad, so-called bad productions, that there's a lot of potential. It's there, but not everybody has the right skills to bring it out. And so I see Kenya is a treasure trove of stories, and we hear that everywhere, and everybody mentioned it in media, in newspapers. But the thing is, we have to bring it out. And bring it out is not bringing it out with your mobile phone, sorry techno. It is not bringing it out with your light. It starts, sorry, I'm talking on behalf of the Scriptwriters Guild and all the scriptwriters in this world, or wanna be or gonna be scriptwriters. You have to bring it out in a proper way. If you don't write it, we're not gonna watch it. And the winners all have one thing in common. It was well written, and that's why the audience loved it, and that's why we loved it.
You see, out of all these films that you got 20 of them, it wouldn't have been fair to just award 3 people, not to cheer for 2 films for special mention from our end.
when editing started, or when filmmaking maybe 10 or 15 years ago, the editing equipment was very expensive. These days you can edit on your mobile phone. So we are now going into a place where anybody who has a phone can make a film, shoot, edit, and shoot, light, edit, and actually upload a film even on YouTube, and run, you can run a channel off just your mobile phone.
You guys did a great job. You guys did a great job. And I believe whoever you chose to be the winner, every other person watching us will agree that this was the best movie. And if you haven't watched these movies, I will urge you to go and watch these movies because they are amazing. And of course, I want to say thank you to Kenya Film Commission, the jury here. Thank you so much for participating in this, and all the partners that have been with us, and for you for voting for these great winners. And I hope you all agree that that guy was the winner and was the best movie producer ever. Go and watch the movie. See you next time on another competition. I've been your host, MC.
This is NTV.
I help women find independence by training them in fish farming. It's tough on my back, joints, and can cause headaches. Panadol Extra relieves multiple types of pain. If symptoms persist, seek medical advice.
What makes a Kenyan dental mom powerful?
I encourage my kids to learn new things. And if they get hurt, I rely on the power of my Dettol's One Capful. To fight germs, it's like my own first aid kit.
My family needs protection from germs. I use the power of Dettol's One Capful to disinfect surfaces and clothes to keep them clean and safe from germs.
I trust the power of Dettol's One Capful for bathing. The power of Dettol's One Capful protects from up to 100 illness-causing germs.
Dettol, Kenya's #1 antiseptic for fighting germs. Become a powerful Kenyan mom with Dettol. Be 100% sure.
My whole life is in my phone.
Niko na simu ya baba. Niko na simu ya baba. Mimi ko sawa. Niko na simu ya baba. Kanipicha simu ya baba. Shine up your aim moment, yeah.
My father worked hard. And he made sure I did too. Because of him, I studied every day. And I did well. He helped me start my first business. It's only now I understand. My father always had big dreams for me. And now, my dreams are the same as my father's.
In 175 years, we've learned that times change, but what matters never will.
Broadband margarine. New look, same great taste.
Wakenya, hii fight hatukuchagua, lakini tuko na choice. Tuchague kujilinda. Tuchague kuprotect familia zetu. Tuchague usafi. Kuosha mikono. Kuosha manyumba zetu. Ndio tulinde watoto wetu. Na tuvae mask. Future yetu iko mikononi mwetu. Kenya, let's do it for the ones we love.
This is NTV.
just in time for the most comprehensive weekly look at the world of business and economics. Welcome, this is Business Redefined, and I am Julian Amboko. This week, KenGen. 35 billion shillings in market capitalization and 62% of Kenya's installed energy capacity, a company clearly at the heart of Kenya's energy generation. But with the COVID-19 pandemic having triggered a general slowdown in the business environment, KenGen's main source of revenue, which is energy sales, has come under pressure in the recent times. How has COVID-19 impacted the energy generation process in Kenya? How has its adverse effects altered KenGen's outlook? Are there projects whose implementation has been derailed by the pandemic? 8 months after sealing the drilling contract in Ethiopia, what steps have been made? Earlier today, I sat down with the company's Chief Executive Officer and Managing Director, Rebecca Miano, to discuss this and more. Take a listen. Rebecca Miano, thank you for your time and thank you just for hosting Business Redefined at your office. Let's start with the issue of COVID-19, which has thrown a wildcard for many businesses. There is, of course, the concern around how this could potentially have impacted energy demand. What's your experience and how is this impacting KenGen?
Like you have rightly said, this pandemic has affected various sectors across the globe and even here in Kenya. And at KenGen and in Kenya, we have seen a reduced consumption of electricity and therefore reduced demand. But I'm glad to say that in the month of June, we have slowly seen the demand picking up again. And so we are hopeful that when things normalize, there will be sufficient demand to take up the generation that we have.
Let's talk about the sustainability of the power generation process. Of course, KenGen has many employees, and in this situation of physical distancing or social distancing, how does that work for you?
What we have done to ensure that there is sustainable power generation is to come up with a shift system across the areas. And we have sort of an extra team or a spare team so that in case we are impacted in our control rooms, this team can then come in and continue with generation. We have also implemented a rota system so that at every given time, we are sure that we have a team on duty, and that rota system has greatly helped to ensure there is continuous generation of power, especially because of the requirements of the Ministry of Health, of social distancing, decongesting workplaces. And we have also continually fumigated and sanitized the working areas, like washing our hands, and all the measures that have been put in place. And so we have gone an extra mile to be very vigilant, knowing that power generation is the engine and enabler of this economy. And also in the health sector, power generation is a critical service. That's why we have really taken keen interest and taken all the measures to ensure that that is not impacted.
And with regard to your pipeline of projects, many are just curious to know, is COVID-19 occasioning any delays, or are we still on course with what we had planned for 2020-21?
Due to the nature of our business, most of our projects are long-term, and they take a long time to implement. And so far, we haven't slowed down yet, but we are watching keenly to see how things will evolve. And so any new projects or any slowing down of implementation will greatly depend on the demand and how the economy picks up in future. But as of now, we continue with our project pipeline, knowing that it is really long-term.
And let's talk a little bit about some events we had in 2019, which are quite significant, the Ethiopian drilling contract, which KenGen secured. How is this unfolding 8 months down the line, especially in light of the situation?
We commenced the contract successfully last year, but earlier on in the year, around March, we were actually interrupted because of the pandemic, and we had to evacuate back our staff. So that slowed down the project, but I'm glad to say that we have now resumed. We have followed the guidelines that we were given by the Ministry of Health, both in Kenya and Ethiopia, plus civil aviation, and our teams are back, and the work will resume. And so I think we may be able to catch up and continue with that project to its conclusion. And we really do hope for the best, despite the pandemic.
Rebecca, one of the key pillars of your agenda has always been about diversification of the revenue base, and of course that Ethiopia was just one of them. Is there anything we're looking forward to in line with this diversification agenda, perhaps in the near term, medium term?
You're right. We have a diversification agenda, and this will generally be around our expertise. We have a lot of expertise in geothermal, consulting, and drilling, and we are looking at expanding in the region, in countries like Ethiopia, where we are already in. We have a presence there. We are discussing something with Djibouti, and we want to go to the region, and we are sure that the countries that have the geothermal resource will find it much easier to develop their capacity using the Kenyan expertise rather than going very far overseas to obtain that expertise. So that's what we are looking at. And all of them may not be very near term, but in the medium term and the long term, we may be able to actualize this diversification through offering the geothermal development expertise.
And still on last year, of course, KenGen did successfully retire its infrastructure bond towards the end of last year. And many investors out here are just curious to know, are we looking at another capital raise potentially coming from KenGen?
The public infrastructure bond offer was one of the most successful ones. And we are glad that we were able to retire it successfully. And we are forever grateful for the investors that had confidence in KenGen. Having retired that bond, we always look forward to more activities in the capital markets. But currently, if I look at our project pipeline, most of our projects are actually funded or just approaching financial close. So the project pipeline is fully funded. But going forward, our team is continuously reviewing, and if at the right time we require to go back to the capital markets, we will be ready to go back, because we have always succeeded when we get there. And this was demonstrated when we had the rights issue in 2016, which then gave us more headroom to get more facilities through the capital markets. So I would say we are watching, and when we have a project that is ready to take up funds from the capital markets, we will be going back there in future.
Great. And Rebecca, I'm just curious to know, what's your outlook? Of course, 2020 is a very unpredictable year for many, and even by way of giving their assessment of how the near term will look like, it's really undefined. But what lies ahead for KenGen? Many are just curious to really understand what's your outlook like.
Like you have said, it is actually undefined. It's a year that has turned out to be much more different from what we projected and we had planned. We had planned many things, including our growth, but the pandemic has come in. But what I would like to tell you is that power generation is still relevant. There's still consumption of power. The demand, yes, will be reduced, but it is not rock bottom. So there will still be some business, but we are monitoring closely, and we haven't quite determined the actual effects. But probably in the coming months, we will be able to show, in accordance with our reporting requirements, what the full impact will have been.
Right, and that point takes us to a break. We have been focusing on KenGen and the impact that COVID-19 is having on the company and the energy generation process. When we come back, we'll be looking at how communities are being supported by this particular company. Stay tuned.
Kenya, like other countries in the world, is faced with an unprecedented crisis as a result of COVID-19 pandemic.
KenGen is the leading electricity producer in the East African region.
Currently, we generate a total of 1,803 megawatts drawn from hydro, geothermal, wind, and thermal. In response to the coronavirus pandemic, we have deployed mechanisms to ensure electricity generation continues uninterrupted during this period of uncertainty. We come to work for you to ensure you have reliable electricity supply even during these hard times.
Beat sensitivity pain fast with Sensodyne Rapid Action for clinically proven relief in 60 seconds.
Disinfect and protect your home with Jik. Jik kills 99.9% of illness-causing germs. Disinfect floors, kitchen and bathroom surfaces, and wash white clothes, towels, and dishcloths with Jik bleach. Just Jik it.
Explorers of the night, wale wase wa kuhustle usiku, kustreama movies, music mix diehards, and gaming fanatics. We've heard you. It is now your time to fly your flag high. Do what you love, mpaka che na Telkom. Join Usiku Sako with Telkom night bundles that allow you rule the night at prices you love. Join our tribe, Usiku Sako Squad. Just dial *544# from your Telkom line and select the night bundle of your dreams. You are the legend the night needs.
Better tomorrow. Don't forget to do the 1, 2, 3 with Colgate every night.
Wakenya, hii fight hatukuchagua, lakini tuko na choice. Tuchague kujilinda. Tuchague kuprotect familia zetu. Tuchague usafi. Kuosha mikono. Kuosha manyumba zetu. Ndio tulinde watoto wetu. Na tuvae mask. Future yetu iko mikononi mwetu. Kenya, let's do it for the ones we love.
We want you to relax and feel safe in your own home, at the office, in a restaurant, at the salon, or any public space that you visit. Ace Cleaning products are a sure way of feeling safe and secure in your home.
Welcome back. This evening we're speaking to the Chief Executive Officer and Managing Director of KenGen, that's Kenya's electricity generator, I should say, that is Madam Rebecca Miano. Thank you once again for being with us. Let's now look at how KenGen is supporting communities in light of COVID-19. Just share with us some thoughts in terms of what you are doing.
We have partnered with communities and we have been able to donate, for example, tanks, hand washing soap, masks, and even food. We have engaged them so that we partner together to be able to come through this crisis strong, because when the community succeeds, we also succeed. We have spent, let's say, around 33 million in total, both to the national kitty and in the communities. And even today, as we sit here, we have a team that is in Kisumu, the Sondu Miriu area, just discussing with the communities, engaging them, and providing those items to the communities. We have been to Naivasha, Embu, Lamu, the Tana River Basin, and we take joy in working together with our communities. And they've also been valuable in giving their suggestions and they've been very supportive of our businesses.
And when you just look forward, because of course we've touched on the issue of the outlook that you have for the country, there is the hope that the reopening will see a resurgence in the business activity. Just how optimistic are you in terms of the outlook when you're going forward, really in the near term here?
We are optimistic. We saw a really suppressed demand in the months of April. Then May was a bit modest, but we have seen an upward trend in the months of June. So everything remaining constant and being optimistic that this pandemic will be contained, we believe that in the next couple of months, we may be able to go back to the demand that we had seen in the months of February, that is just before the COVID-19. So I'm generally quite optimistic that the economy will pick up and various sectors will be able to open up again and therefore have a good uptick on the power generation, thereby increasing the demand and improving our sales.
Rebecca, let's talk about Kenya's renewable energy space and especially with a focus on the UN Global Compact where you participated in. How does that agenda by and large now fit within the Kenyan landscape where of course Kenya has made significant steps in terms of the renewable energy share of the total energy mix?
On June 15th and 16th, the UN Global Compact had the Leaders Summit that was very successful, and I was among the speakers. And I was honored to speak about renewable energy, not only in KenGen and in Kenya, but in Africa. And it's very good news that Kenya has one of the highest percentages in terms of renewable energy. And currently, over 85% of the energy consumed in this country is renewable. So that is very good news. But also looking at our project pipeline here in KenGen going forward, all our projects are then based on renewable energy. That is geothermal, wind, and solar. And if you look at Africa, Africa is a renewable energy continent, very well endowed, more than any other continent. And then the advantages of renewable energy are very clear. It is cheaper. It then supports health because of the pollution and the reduced carbon emissions. So it supports the health of the continent and the health of the country. And then, of course, it is quicker to implement. It offers jobs. And it's such a pleasure to see that it's easily accessible. And you therefore see even women in the villages and women in the continent easing their daily work because of the access to electricity. It also supports education. You find children are able to do their work even at home, and even the sheer connectivity of the internet. So it supports the telecommunication, it supports every facet of the economy. It's really an enabler and a big-time enabler of the success of the health sector. Because if you look at all the equipment in the hospitals, they are really powered by electricity. And renewable energy is very sustainable. If you look at geothermal, it's not dependent on weather, it's not dependent on any other thing. It is a freely available resource that is more sustainable. And so the story of renewable energy is very close to my heart. And I really hope that in the near future, this continent and even this country will reach the levels of connectivity and access to electricity that will be nearly 100%. And Kenya has an advantage. One of the highest access to electricity in Africa is found in Kenya, about 75%, while the continent average is about 40%. And despite the COVID-19 crisis, the government has the vision of attaining 100% access by 2022. That may be impacted a bit or slowed down a bit, but the vision is still there of having 100% access to electricity.
And speaking about renewable energy, when we were together last year focusing on a few issues around the geothermal space, Kenya had made significant strides in terms of where it sits in the global landscape. How is it thus far, or have we just maintained that position?
Since then, we commissioned Olkaria 5, and that then placed Kenya at number 7. When we spoke last, we were at number 8. So we are making stride, and in 2021, sometime in 2021, we'll be commissioning Olkaria 1 Unit 6, which then will also improve our global standing. So that is a very good achievement for this country in terms of geothermal development.
And just now to wrap it up really, in terms of your energy mix, we have progressively seen more focus on geothermal and less on the hydro. How is this faring on? We've had some very heavy rains this year. How is it looking like?
We have had one of the highest water levels in history this year. And the importance of hydro, one, is that it is cheaper, it is sustainable, and we use the hydros to really stabilize the grid. When you have other sources of energy like wind and solar that are intermittent, hydro is very reliable. What we are doing is to then conserve the water and preserve it for periods that are then dry, so that we are able to have hydro generation throughout the year. Hydro is still a big portion, actually bigger than geothermal currently, because we have over 818 megawatts, and it's about 40% of our generation, which is very close to what we have in geothermal. It's only that probably this country has almost exhausted its hydro capacity, whereas geothermal is still a lot of potential. So we don't have many more hydro projects like we have the geothermal. But yes, when we have enough rain, it's very good that we can conserve water. And the dams also help to reduce the flooding downstream by holding much more water that could then have just flown to the Tana River and the Tana Basin.
Of course, the SPA is quite an asset for KenGen, and many would just want to know how it's faring at this particular point.
The geothermal SPA, of course, is one of a kind in Africa, said to be therapeutic. And over the last year and over the last months, we had seen a lot of uptake in the geothermal SPA. In fact, the weekend looked like it was a preferred destination for many Kenyans. But because of the COVID-19, we then discontinued, and we actually closed the SPA because of the health issues. We took an opportunity to improve the facility and do repairs. But when things start moving up again, we will open the SPA then, and people will be able to enjoy the uptick again of that special facility down there.
And we have been speaking to the KenGen Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer, that is Rebecca Miano, on the subject of KenGen and how it is impacted by COVID-19, the entire energy generation process, as well as the sustainability going forward. Up next is the Markets Review.
Markets Review, proudly brought to you by Business Daily. More possibilities.
Let's take a look at how the capital and forex markets close the day today. And we start off with the stock market, where we're seeing the NSE 20 share index close at 1942.12. Change year to date is down 26.8 points, and change day on day, that's compared to yesterday, is down by a marginal 0.5%. So therefore, very minimal change compared to the trading day yesterday. But crossing over onto the forex market, which has been relatively quiet over the past couple of weeks, the Kenya shilling to the US dollar closed at 106.52 points, down marginally by some 0.06%. Against the sterling pound, it's at 131.17. That's up slightly by 0.48%. And against the euro at 120.14, down slightly by 0.59%. Therefore, as I said, it's been a relatively quiet period in the forex market, particularly because of the interventions which particularly are being made regarding the instability and uncertainty in the global market. So we'll continue monitoring both the capital and forex markets to see how this progresses in the months ahead. Right, and we've been speaking to the Chief Executive Officer and Managing Director of KenGen, that's Madam Rebecca Miano. Of course, some quick highlights that have been pointed out in terms of what's happening. There was a sluggish, there was a bit of a contraction in terms of consumption of electricity between the months of March and April. Therefore, that has had a slight impact. But the CEO does say that there's been a pickup compared to what has been seen before, and therefore there's hope for recovery. Also indicating that the projects continue as scheduled. They have rolled out All-Carrier 5, which is continuing to add on to the energy generation in the country, and placing now Kenya at the 7th largest installed geothermal capacity. Remember when we were covering the KenGen Energy Edition last year, we were at position 8, and also highlighting the interventions which the company is taking, plowing in about 33 million shillings both to the COVID-19 emergency fund as well as to communities directly. Therefore, this is something which we'll continue to follow up. Incidentally, today was the final day in terms of the company's financial year, which ends on June 30th. So we shall be looking forward to their results and digging into those numbers to see how the company has been impacted in light of the prevailing environment. That takes us to the close of Business Redefined. Many thanks for tuning in. Many thanks for the feedback online. We shall continue with this conversation on energy generation and the COVID-19 pandemic in bulletins, in stories we'll be covering. Much delight for having you, and stay tuned to NTV for more programming.
I help women find independence by training them in fish farming. It's tough on my back, joints, and can cause headaches. Panadol Extra relieves multiple types of pain. If symptoms persist, seek medical advice.
Do your gums hurt? Yeah. Does your toothpaste contain sage, eucalyptus, myrrh, chamomile? All that in one toothpaste? Yes, try Colgate Herbal. Colgate Herbal contains nature's best herbs and Colgate's fluoride technology to give you strong teeth and healthy gums. Ah, Colgate Herbal. Let's go. Colgate Herbal for strong teeth and healthy gums naturally.
Ah, Helen Paul.
Hello, madam. Would you like to join us on this mission?
Yes, but how?
Just one question for you. How do you keep your toilet clean?
I use regular detergent and bleach for washing and removing yellow stains. I've been using it for years.
Oh, madam, the regular detergents and bleach are used for washing clothes. To disinfect your toilet properly, you need Harpic 10X. It is specially made for germs and stains removal. Harpic's thick formula settles on stains and gives 10 times better cleaning compared to regular detergents and bleach.
Wow, now I'm convinced, Helen Paul.
Really?
Yeah.
Now that she's part of the mission, the next house is yours.
COVID-19 waste disposal tips. Separate or segregate the waste at source. Use biomedical waste bin liners. Use licensed NEMA biomedical waste handlers for transportation. Use dedicated vehicle to collect COVID-19 waste. In rural areas, disinfect the COVID-19 waste before disposal.
It is important to note that proper waste management is an essential public duty in the fight against COVID-19.
NEMA, mazingira yetu, uhai wetu, wajibu wetu.
We all are looking for products to protect ourselves from viruses, but not all products protect us. Did you know that using Dettol soap and water protects against viruses? Many viruses are surrounded by an envelope with receptors that enable them to enter a human cell and cause infection. Dettol soap destroys the outer layer of the virus and effectively removes it. Protect your family from the spread of viruses with Dettol. Dettol cleans and is now tested and proven to be effective against COVID-19 virus. This has been Medivax for Dettol.
Sasa anamupenda lakini anashindwa kujielezea. Si life ingekuwa hizi kama mambo yangekuwa one touch yap, kuongea na kujielezea. Mambo mengine sio rahisi, lakini kupata 50% extra airtime ya kukonda kwa SMS ya Safaricom, mambo ni one touch.
Pata 50% extra credo bila expiry ya kupiga na ku-SMS across networks. Piga star 444 star scratch card pin hash. Na kama ni M-Pesa star 444 star 2 hash. Safaricom for you.
How many times do I have to tell you not to just come into my house anytime you feel like?
Akizia kama mama kanakuaga na kelele yake. Now this new intern, can you ask her to come to my place immediately?
Tumekuja hapa sababu ya huyu. Tunataka aoe.
What do you have in mind? Kuna mtu angependa kuolewa? Na mimi. I need someone to...
Naona shida yako ni mapenzi, eh?
Umejua aje ilikuwa atafuta bibi.
His Excellency Wycliffe Ambetsa Oparanya is pleased to notify property owners within Kakamega County of his decision to extend a 100% waiver. The waiver has been extended from 1st June to 31st August 2020.
NTV, turning on your world. The following program has been rated PG. It may contain scenes unsuitable for children under the age of 10.